Condoleezza Rice is on her way to India to stand in solidarity with the people of India this week. Well, solidarity may be the operative word. When it comes to responding to the attacks on Mumbai that left nearly 200 dead, the Bush administration says it, quote, shares India's horror and pain. In fact, it shares a good deal more than that. It shares experience ignoring terror warnings, for example. In 2007, a report to Parliament warned the Indian government that the country's shores were open to attack. Several of Mumbai's attackers seem indeed to have come by boat. Well, as National Security Director, Rice was present August 6, 2001, when the presidential daily briefing was presented to George W. Bush at his ranch. Condoleezza, bin Laden determined to strike in U.S. Rice knows all about ignoring warnings like that. Anti-terror laws? Well, India is considering passing more draconian anti-terror laws in the wake of the attacks. Shrinking civil liberties and expanding police powers, shredding democracy in defense of democracy. The Bush administration knows all about that. There's no excuse for terrorism, but in today's global economy, there are plenty of real grievances to manipulate. In India, a middle class of around 100 million live affluently, but 800 million others are miserable. The government of India would far rather blame than explain or look into what any of the motivations for violence might be. And let's just say India's hardly alone in that. Indian politicians and pundits are pointing fingers at Pakistan, and Pakistan harbored terrorists. The pressures on George W. Bush and Rice to rein nuclear India back from making any kind of deadly attack. But just weeks ago, in the name of combating terrorism, the U.S. was conducting missile attacks on Pakistan, at least 20 of them. In fact, a week before the Mumbai attacks, protesters in Islamabad were urging their government to sever ties with the U.S. over those assaults. What's the U.S. going to tell India? Our missiles, but not yours, are all right? Condoleezza Rice just may manage to stand in solidarity. But when it comes to promoting caution, international law, and making the case for diplomacy over war, it's hard to believe she could possibly pull any of that off with a straight face. That's all we have time for today. You'll find everything you've seen on this show at our website, grittv.org. There's a place to comment on every story. While you're there, join our mailing list so we can let you know what's coming up on the program. There's a podcast and a Twitter feed of every blog posting. Just follow Grit TV. And please, become a supporter. We're broadcasting commercial-free across the United States on Free Speech TV, Dish Network Channel 9415. Ask your cable station for our broadcast. Thanks for watching.